So I'm going to show you today how to step-by-step draw a cityscape that looks like this. Make sure you've got paper, pencil, and some kind of straight edge or ruler. If you don't have a ruler, if you take a piece of paper and fold it a couple of times and crease it, fold it, crease it, fold it, crease it on itself, like over and over again, it can make a sort of straight edge for you if you don't have anything to use. Alright, so in your videos you learned a couple of things. You learned about your horizon line, you learned about your vanishing point, and then you learned about the receding lines, sometimes called orthogonal lines, that go to the vanishing point and that help create the scene and help create depth. So what I want you to do is I want you to start with your vanishing point in the middle. And then I want you to draw an upside down V. And you want these, this upside down V, you want these to be the same length. Okay, and then you're going to, so you'll notice where it says up here in the corner. So blue lines mean it goes to the VP, that's the vanishing point, that's the dot. Okay, blue lines go to the VP, the vanishing point. Black lines are horizontal, perfectly side to side, not random diagonals. Very important. Red lines mean they are vertical, straight up and down. Okay, so after you draw your upside down V, then we're going to draw a horizontal line to the left side and off the paper, and a horizontal line from the bottom of the right side of the V and off the paper. This is going to end up being the bottom of our sidewalk. So this is going to be our street. This is also the street, and this is the bottom where the sidewalk meets the street. Next step is to draw two very short vertical lines. Right? Notice we only have three options here. To the vanishing point, horizontal, or vertical. No random diagonal lines. So if your drawing ever looks a little off, it's probably because your line is either not vertical, or it's not horizontal, or it's not going to the vanishing point. That's why. Alright, so we got these two short little vertical lines happening from our obtuse angles. So whenever we see an obtuse angle, we know that it needs a line. Okay? So if you've taken geometry, I like geometry. Y'all know I like math. Y'all know I try to include it all the time. So whenever you see an obtuse angle, you already should automatically know it either needs a horizontal line or a vertical line to complete it. Alright. Then we're going to turn this into a skinny rectangle that goes off the page. So this is going to be the thickness of our sidewalk as it faces us. Okay, and then we're going to draw the top of the rectangle to the vanishing point. So we never want to leave open ends unconnected. So right now it looks a little weird because we didn't connect the other side of the sidewalk. We only have the front of the sidewalk. We need the part of the sidewalk that's going away from us and into the distance. Okay, so to the vanishing point, they are blue. Now we want to finish the top of the sidewalk by making a little bit wider upside down V. Okay, so you can kind of, hopefully you can start to see this sidewalk that's taking shape. And then can't have any floating lines unattached. So we need our horizontal line to the left and our horizontal line to the right. Okay, so again, notice obtuse angle. So you better believe we're going to put something there to continue our drawing. So we'll start on this right side by drawing a vertical line, red line, straight up and down. And this is going to be, excuse me, it's going to be your first building. Okay, so horizontal line at the top, and then a vertical line down. So we recognize this as a rectangle. So we're going to start with a basically tall, wider rectangle, vertical and horizontal lines only. And now we need to show how the building goes away from us and into the distance. So if it goes away from us and into the distance, it has to go to that dot. It's not going to go randomly up here or down here, wherever you feel like it. It has to go to the dot. That's the rule. Alright, you could draw the line all the way to the vanishing point if you want to, but as long as your ruler or your straight edge is lining up with the middle of that dot, then it's fine. You don't need to draw the whole entire thing. You just need to draw however long you want this building to be. And then you're going to finish it with a vertical line. So notice red lines all the way around. Okay? Next building, we're going to leave some space in between. We want to show that there's a little alleyway between these two buildings, some empty space between these two buildings. So we're going to scoot over. So they could potentially share a wall, but I don't want it to be that way. I want it to have more depth. So I'm going to draw my next vertical line away from the first building. And then I'm going to draw whatever will fit, whatever part of the rectangle of the part of the building that's facing me on the paper. Okay, so if you have a really big piece of paper, then you're going to be able to fit probably several more buildings over here. I'm working with limited space. Alright, so right now we just have the front of a building. We are missing the side of the building that goes into the distance. So we're going to line up the top corner, top left corner, to the vanishing point. Oh, just kidding. I didn't know what was going to come next. Alright, so it looks like we are going to erase the sidewalk in between the two buildings. We want to show that there's going to be empty space between here. Okay, so go ahead and erase that. Alright, now we want to show, sorry, going in the wrong direction. Okay, now we want to show how this side of the building that's inside the alleyway goes to the vanishing point. So this bottom corner, bottom left corner, is going to go get lined up with the vanishing point, and I'm going to stop when I hit this building. This building is not clear and see-through, so I can't see where it goes, how it goes to the vanishing point. So I'm going to stop when it hits this building because this is a solid object. This is open space. This is a solid object. Okay, same thing with up here. Okay, I'm going to draw it until it hits this building. Now if you made this building really short and you made this building really tall, you're going to need a vertical line right here to show where this building ends. I happen to make these two very similar in size, so I don't have to worry about showing the rest of this building. But if these did not touch, if this building was shorter, I would need a vertical line right here. Okay. Alright, if I want to put levels or stories on the building, I always want to start on the rectangle or square side, the side with the 90-degree corners. And I try to evenly space them, so I try to measure this, and then I evenly space the lines on the rectangle side. These are black lines, therefore they are all horizontal. Okay, now this is where we need to use our vanishing point, right? This side of the building is going away from us, therefore these lines have to go to the vanishing point. And so I'm going to take this, the end of this line right here, the end of this level, line it up with the vanishing point. Same thing with this one, and this one. Okay, notice how they all angle to the vanishing point. Okay, this one is below eye level, so it's going up. This one is above eye level, it's going down. The ones near eye level are going to be more straight. They're going to look more horizontal, because they are. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to start with another building. Red vertical line. Turn it into a rectangle going away from the vanishing point. Figure out what side is going to the vanishing point, right? The side we can see. To the vanishing point, vertical. Leave some empty space. Draw your next vertical line, and then draw your rectangle going off the page. Top and bottom of this new building, go to the vanishing point to show the empty space between the buildings. And then don't forget to erase the sidewalk in between to really show that depth and that empty space between those two buildings. Alright, and that is how to get yourself started on how to draw a cityscape.